Lesson 1, slide 23. The Sheva, the Maqqef, and the full stop, or period in Hebrew. First we'll have a look at the Sheva. Two vertical dots under a letter is called a Sheva. Here we can see it here under this Aleph, for example. Two vertical dots, like a colon, but it's underneath the letter. A Sheva denotes either the end of a syllable, in which case it's called a silent Sheva. For example, this word here, vayavdal, the Sheva tells us that this is the end of the syllable, vayav, and that the next letter after this is the beginning of a new syllable, dal, vayavdal. And a Sheva also denotes a short sound. This is called a vocal Sheva. For example, v'ha'aretz. So we have a v'ha'aretz. So here we have the Sheva under the letter Vav, meaning and the earth, v'ha'aretz. That's from the first sentence of the Bible. Bereshit bara Elohim et hashamayim ve'et ha'aretz. In the beginning, Yahweh, God, created the heavens and the earth. So this, whenever we have the two dots underneath the first letter, it's a sound. It's always a vocal Sheva when it's at the beginning. And when it's in the middle of a word, it's often a silent Sheva. But when we have two Shevas side by side, the first is a silent Sheva. Here we have mach, so that's saying it's the end of the syllable, mach. And the second Sheva is a vocal Sheva, and that's meaning it's a short sound. So it's mach shivot. Because the first Sheva is saying it's the end of the syllable, and the second Sheva is saying it's the beginning, not only the beginning of the new syllable, but it starts with an sound, which makes sense, doesn't it? The first Sheva is saying it's the end of the syllable, and the next Sheva is saying it's the beginning of a new syllable with a short sound. So Sheva either has a short, means the end of a syllable, or a short sound. And there's a few other rules regarding gutturals and other bits and pieces, which I won't mention here. Just remember that when you see these two dots, they either mean it's an sound or the beginning of a new syllable, or the end of a syllable, and the beginning of a new one with a sound. We'll see lots of examples in the slides to come, so you'll soon work it out. A Sheva is silent if it is immediately preceded by a short vowel. In all other cases, it is vocal. Okay, so whenever it's before a short vowel sound, and we had a look at the vowels before, this is a short vowel, and this is a long vowel. So when it's preceded by a short vowel, the Sheva is a silent Sheva, meaning that it's the end of the syllable. Otherwise, it's a a vocal Sheva. Anyway, you'll see more of these examples. If it sounds like complex, then don't worry about it. You'll see plenty of examples in the future. Okay, now there's another little symbol that you see often. It's a little horizontal stroke that looks like a hyphen, and it's used in a similar way, and it can also mean of, or can imply ownership, that something belongs to something or other, or something is of something. For example, sometimes you'll find the word Beit Yisrael, or House of Israel. Sometimes it's spelt with a hyphen or a Maqqef between the two words. And it means usually that you also roll the two words together and you say it perhaps almost like one word, as you would with a word in English that has a hyphen between it. But it's not called a hyphen, it's called a Maqqef. And it implies that, in this case, that it's the house of Israel. And you can often tell how it's used just by context. Again, we'll see plenty of examples of that. Now we'll have a look at the final little symbol in our list, and that's two dots, like a colon. Like the Sheva, there's two dots, but these two dots are written at the end of a sentence, just like that. So they're not like two dots underneath a letter, like the Sheva, but they're two much bigger dots, and they are at the end of a sentence. This is in biblical Hebrew. So this is just a full stop in Hebrew. A full stop in biblical Hebrew are two dots, one above the other, and they're often a kind of diamond-shaped two dots. Here they're two round dots. In modern Hebrew, they just have a full stop at the end of each sentence, but in biblical Hebrew, they use these two colon-like dots at the end of the sentence. And that's all for the Sheva, Maqqef, and full stop sign, period. Well done. You've completed lesson 1. Hopefully, you've committed to memory the Hebrew alphabet, the bigger Kefat letters, final forms, and perhaps you've learnt the Hebrew alphabet song. That's a nice little jingle, especially for the kids. But it's good for adults too. And in part 2, you have learnt the vowels, verb roots, the Sheva, Maqqef, and the biblical full stop. Now, if you haven't learnt these, then go back and memorize the vowels and the alphabet. Again, there is some free software to learn the Hebrew letters, and the vowels you'll just have to put them on cards and learn them, commit them to memory somehow. Right, the suggested exercises, Biblical Hebrew and Introductory Grammar by Paige H. Kelly. If you haven't done these lessons yet and you do have this book, then do lesson 1 and lesson 2 and lesson 3 and the exercises in them. And if you have the Basics of Biblical Hebrew Grammar by Gary D. Practico and Miles V. Van Pelt, and you haven't done it, then please look at section 1, the Basics of Hebrew Writing, and do 1, the Hebrew alphabet, 2, the Hebrew vowels, and 3, syllabification and pronunciation. Right, well that's it for lesson 1.